So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 215, chapter 6 recursion, come to 6.4.1. Okay, so I am going to explain factorial. Okay, so 5 factorial, what is the value of 5 factorial? It was nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is called as 5 factorial. Am I right? Okay. So this is an usual method, but now I am going to explain the same 5 factorial, okay, in recursive style. The same 5 factorial in recursive style. Okay, fine. So 5 factorial. The value of 5 factorial, okay, let me erase this one. Okay, so here I am using 5 factorial. What is the value of 5 factorial? Okay, so it is nothing but 5 into, what is the value less than 5? It is 4, am I right? Okay, 5 into 4 factorial. Is this right? You tell me, is this right or not? Yes, of course right. Right. So listen, if I know the value of these two, this execution means, if I know the value of this expression means, I can find the value of 5 factorial. Got it? Okay. Now I don't know what is the value of 4 factorial. So that what I have to do means, I have to do 4 into, what is the value less than 4? It is 3 factorial. Okay, so if I want to find the value of 4 factorial means, I have to find the value of 4 into 3 factorial. Am I right? Okay, now I don't know what is the value of 3 factorial. So instead of 3 factorial I am writing 3 into, the value less than 3 is 2 factorial. If I find this value means, I can find the value of 3 factorial. Got it? Okay. Now, what is the value of 2 factorial? I don't know. So what I am doing now? So the same number 2 into, the value less than 2 is 1 factorial. Okay, fine. So 1 factorial, the answer is 1. Okay, fine. We know that 1 factorial, the answer is 1. Okay, so I will strike this value 1 factorial, the answer is 1. Okay, now you tell me what is the value of 2 factorial. So you have to calculate this one. So 2 ones are 2. Okay, so 2 ones are 2. So I will strike out this value and I will write 2. Now you tell me what is the value of 3 factorial. The 3 factorial value is this one. So 3 2s are 6. So 3 factorial value is 6. Okay, fine. Now you tell me what is the value of 4 factorial. 4 factorial value is 4 6 are 24. 6 4s are 24. Okay, fine. So now the value of 4 factorial is 24. I will strike out this one. I will write 24. Okay, now you tell me what is the value of 5 factorial. We have to calculate this one, right? So 5 into 24. So 5 20s are 100. So 5 4s are 20. So answer is 120. So the 5 factorial, the answer is what? 120. Got it? Okay. So you may have a doubt. Sir, we can find the value of 5 factorial in this method itself now. Then why you are using this method? Okay. This method is nothing but it is a recursive method. Recursive method means I am doing the same style. Okay. Same style of method every time. Listen. Here a number into less than that number factorial. Then a number into less than that number factorial. Then here a number into less than this number factorial. Then here, what is the value of 2 factorial? A number, the same number into less than that number factorial. Okay, so the same style we are using every time. Okay, so this kind of function is called as a recursive function. Okay, fine. So now I am going to explain the program. Okay, suppose n receives the value 5. Suppose n receives the value 5. So it will come here 5 less than 2. 5 less than 2 means the condition is false. That means it will come here. So n means what? N means 5. So 5 into factorial function. So here 5 minus 1. So n value is 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So what is this one? Okay, it is just like that. You see, this is 5 factorial. If you want to find the value of 5 factorial, you have to find the value of 5 into 4 factorial. Like this. Here, if you want to find the value of 5 factorial, you have to find the value of 5 into 4 factorial. Got it? Then, I told you it is a calling statement. This will call the factorial definition. Now this 5 will be cancelled and it will, n value will become 4. What is the value of n? It is 4. Now, what is the value of n? It is of course 4. So 4 less than 2 means the condition is false. If this condition is false means it will come to here. Now n value will become 4. 4 into n minus 1 means 3. So if you want to find the value of 4 factorial, if you want to find the factorial of 4 factorial, then you have to find 4 into 3 factorial. Just like this. You see, if you want to find the value of 4 factorial, you have to find the value of 4 into 3 factorial. Got it? Then this n value will become 3 now. Okay, so it will come here n less than 2. That means 3 less than 2. Again the condition is false. So it will come here. What is the value of n? N is 3. 3 into 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so what is the value of, so what is the meaning of this one? If you want to find the value of 3 factorial, you have to find the value of 3 into 2 factorial. Just like this. Here you see, if you want to find the value of 3 factorial, you have to find it out 3 into 2 factorial. Okay? Okay. So at last, at the last stage, if the n value is 1 means, okay, if the n value is 1 means 1 is less than 2, it returns 1. I told you, if the n value is 1 means, if the n value is at last 3 will become 2, 2 will become 1. If the n value is 1 means, so 1 less than 2, the condition is true, so it will return 1. So 1 factorial value is 1. So we got the value of this one, it is 1 2s are 2. So I am going back here, the 2 factorial I will strike it out. Instead of 2 factorial I will write 2. So 3 2s are 6. So instead of 3 factorial I will write 6. So 4 6 are 24. Instead of 4 factorial I will write 24. So 5 factorial means 5 4s are 120. So instead of 5 factorial I will write 120. Got it? So finally, so you see, factorial of n value is 5. So factorial of n, finally the value is 120. I got the answer using what? Using recursive function. So hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 218, lesson number 6, recursion. Take program number 6.7. program using a recursive function to find Fibonacci series up to the nth term. That means, suppose if you give 8 means it will give 8 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Suppose if you give 8 means it will give 8 numbers, but here one condition is there. Fibonacci series means the first term and the second term will be 0 and 1. Confirm, no doubt. The first term and second term is 0 and 1. And third term means 0 plus 1 will become 1. Then 1 plus 1 it will become 2. Then these two terms, 1 plus 2 it will become 3. Then these two terms, 2 plus 3 is 5. Then these two terms, 5 plus 3 is 8. Then these two, 5 plus 8 is 13. Like that it will goes on. Understand? So if you give 8 means it will give 8 numbers as the output, but this number was get by the addition of previous two numbers. If you get this number means this number is nothing but the addition of previous two numbers. Got it? If you want to get 5 means we have to add the previous two numbers, that is 2 plus 3. So such that it will become 5. Got it? Okay. So now always come straight to main function. Then enter last term required will be printed. You have to give a keyboard input. For example, I am giving 8. So this number should be an input purely int number. Then this number 8 will be saved in n. What is the value of n? It is 8. Right. So for I in range 1, n plus 1. N plus 1 means I think it is 8 plus 1, so it is 9. Okay. So 1, 9. Right. Starting from 1 and shocking end is 9 means it is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 it won't come because 9 is the shocking end, right? Okay. So for the first round, what is the value of I? The value of I is 1. The value of I is what? 1, right? So Fibonacci of I means Fibonacci of 1. Am I right? Okay. So this is a function call statement, you know very well. So this will call fib definition. Where is fib definition? It is here. So from here the control flow will go to fib definition. And now, so this one value is transferred. This one value is transferred to n. So the now n value is 1. This value is transferred here. Okay, so n value is 1. Come here. What is the value of n? It is 1. If 1 is equal to 1, of course the condition is true. Okay. This condition is true means it will return 0. Okay. Listen. Once it returns 0 means it won't look the next line. Once the return statement executes means it won't see the next lines. Clear? Such that fib 1 the answer is 0. Simple. So from where it comes from now, it will go back to the same place. From where it comes from, once it got the answer, it will go back to the same place. Fib 1 the answer is 0. So it will print 0. Got it? So this 0 was printed. Got it? Right. And now for loop, this for loop is going to be executed for 8 number of times. So first time alone now only finished. Now what is the value of I? So now the I value is 2. Am I right? Okay. So fib I value is 2, so fib 2, and now this 2 value will be transferred to n, and now the n value is 2. Okay, fine. So if 2 is equal to 1, the condition is false. So it will come here. Because of this false, it will come here. Now 2 is equal to 2. The condition is, of course, true. Return 1. Because of this true statement, true condition, it will come to here. Return 1. I told you, once if you reach return means, it won't look after the next line. Okay. So return 1 means this function value is 1, not 0. Because of this return statement, this function fib2, the answer is 1. So this work is fully finished. So where it comes from now, it will go back to the same place here. So fib2 value is 1. So it will print 1. So this 1 is printed now. Got it? Okay. So now, what is the value of I now? So I value is next one, it is 3. Okay. So fib 3. So fib 3 is going to be executed. Fib 3. Okay. So once again it is a calling statement. The control flow will go to fib definition. Now the n value is, now the n value is 3. Okay, fine. Now 3 is equal to 1. This condition is false. So because of false, it come here. Elif n means the n value is now 3. So 3 is equal to 2. This condition is, of course, false. Because of this false condition, it will come to else statement. So now it will do what it will do, I will say. Okay, now so this condition is also false. This condition is also false. So it comes to else statement. Here what is there? Return fib n minus 1. N minus 1 means it is nothing but 3 minus 1, it is 2. So fib 2, what is the value? We know that fib 2 value is 1. So the value is 1. Okay. Then plus fib n minus 2. So 3 minus 2 means the answer is 1. So fib 1, the answer is 0. So it will return the value 0. Okay. So very simple. You see, fib 3, what is the value of fib 3 means? It will add, what is the value of fib 3 means? It will add the previous two fib values. So it will do fib 2 and fib 1. Such that 0 plus 1 will become 1. Okay. So 0 plus 1 it will become 1, and that it will return 1. So what is the value of fib 3? It is nothing but 1. Okay. So this 1 is written in fib 3. So where it comes from, it will go back to the same position. So now fib 3 means the value is 1. So it will print 1 now. Got it? Okay. Listen. Now what is the value of I? Now it is 4. Okay. Now the I value is 4 now. Now this I value is 4. The control will be transferred here. Now this n value is, now this n value is 4. Okay. So this n value is 4 now. So 4 is equal to 1, the condition is false. And now here 4 is equal to 2, the condition is false. And so it will come here. So fib of 4 minus 1 is 3. Fib 3, what is the value? Fib 3 means it is nothing but 1. Fib 3 value is 1. And n means 4. So 4 minus 2 means it is 2. So fib 2 value is 1. So 1 plus 1 it is 2. So return 2. That means fib 4, the value is nothing but 2. What is the value of fib 4? It is 2. So where it comes from, it will go back to the same place. What is the value of fib 4? It is nothing but 2. So it will print 2. Like that, each time it will execute again and again. Okay, that's all. Very simple. If you want to get this value means you have to add the previous two values. Okay, this is fib 8 means you have to add fib 7 and fib 6. Okay, listen. If you want to get the value of fib 8 means you have to add the value of fib 7 and fib 6. That's all. Okay. But remember, 8 means you have to receive 8 numbers. Okay. So finally, we have to receive the Fibonacci series. So hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning, students. It is a computer science class. Okay. Take page number 214, lesson number 6, recursion. Okay. So in this class, I am going to explain you what is called base case. Okay. Fine. The base case you can see only inside a recursive function. Sir, how can you say this is a recursive function? Very simple. It is a power function definition. Inside the power function definition, there will be a power function calling statement. The same power function calling statement. If you find like this means this is nothing but a recursive function. Once again I am saying this is a power function definition. Inside the definition, if you find the same power function calling statement means this function is called as power recursive function. Got it? Okay. So inside the power recursive function, there will be a base class. Okay. How to find out? Let me explain you. It contains a condition and it contains a return statement. Most probably the base case will contain a condition and a return statement. If you find like this means it is called as base case, such that these two lines are nothing but base case. Got it? Okay. Suppose, what is this? Base case not defined. So these two lines are not given means, assume that I am deleting this one, I am erasing this one. Okay? Fine. If I erase this one means what will happen? So power A comma B going to execute. So it will directly come to, so these two lines are not there, so it will come here. So A into power of A comma B minus 1. Again the calling statement will go here. So this will execute. So it will come here. So the control flow will go to here. Trying to execute, it will come here. The control flow will go here. So it will try to execute here. So after reaching this line, the control flow will again go here. So if there is no base case means these statements will be executed again and again and again, such that it will make an infinite recursion. Okay, got it? So this will call this one. So once again it will reach this one. This will call this one. Understand? So it will make an infinite recursion. Okay, fine. Such that you won't find any solution. Right. Then what is this base case not reached? That means suppose I am giving the value of A as 5 I'm giving the value of b as minus 1. Okay, such that what is the value of b? So b is minus 1. So minus 1 equal to 0 means the condition is false. Okay, so it will come to else statement. A into power of a comma b minus 1. B minus 1 means 1 minus 1. Sorry, minus 1, that it will become minus 2. 5 comma minus 2. Okay, fine. Such that the control flow will be transferred here. Such that it will become 5 comma minus 2. Okay, so again the condition is false. So next time minus 2 minus 1 means it will become minus 3. So next time it will become 5 comma minus 3. So minus 3 is not equal to 0 means this time also the condition is false. Always this condition will be false. Okay, suppose always this condition is false means, okay, so the base case will not reached, such that this is also will cause an infinite recursion. So what I want to convey is, if you want to give the base case means, okay, it should be defined and it should be reachable. Okay, பாரு இதுதான் program. Okay, இதுதான் recursive function. இதுல இந்த கண்டிஷனும் ரிட்டர்னும் இருக்கிறது தான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா பேஸ் கேஸ்னு சொல்லுவோம். சரியா? இந்த பேஸ் கேஸ் பர்ஃபெக்ட்டா கொடுத்தா மட்டும்தான் இந்த recursion function ப்ராப்பரா ஒர்க் ஆகும். இந்த பேஸ் கேஸ் நீ கொடுக்கலனா infinite times இந்த function execute ஆகும். இந்த பேஸ் கேஸ் நீ கொடுத்திருக்க, பட் ஆனா ப்ராப்பரா கொடுக்கல, இந்த கண்டிஷன் ப்ராப்பரா நீ கொடுக்கல அப்படின்னா அதுவும் என்ன ஆயிரும், ஆல்வேஸ் the condition is false. கடைசில அந்த பேஸ் கேஸ் கடைசி வரைக்கும் ரீச் ஆகாமே போயிடும், அதனாலயும் infinite times execute ஆகும். புரிஞ்சுதா? ஓகே, so base case எந்த அளவுக்கு முக்கியம் உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருச்சு இல்லையா? ஓகே, so hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 213. Okay, chapter 6 recursion. Okay, fine. So see the program number 6.4, program to show the use of recursion in calculation of power. A power b. Example, 5 power 3. So 5 has to be multiplied by 3 times. So 5 into 5 is equal to 125. Okay, this is usual method. Okay, the same 5 power 3 I am going to explain in recursive method. Now I am going to see the same 5 power 3 I am going to find the value in recursive method. Okay, so what is the value of 5 power 3? I don't know. So what I am doing now is equal to 5 into 5 power, what is the value less than 3? The value less than 3 is 2. Okay, fine. So 5 into 5 square we have to find. If we find this answer means we can easily find the answer of 5 power 3. Got it? Once again I am saying 5 power 3 I don't know the value. If I find the value of 5 into 5 square, I can find the value of 5 power 3. Got it? Okay. Now 5 power 2. What is the value of 5 power 2? Still I don't know. Okay. So for this one more formula. The same 5 into 5 power. What is the value less than 2? It is 1. So I write 1. Okay. So if I found the value of 5 into 5 power 1, then I can easily find the value of 5 power 2. Got it? Okay. Now still I don't know what is the value of 5 power 1. So what I am doing now, I am going to apply the same formula. 5 into 5 power, what is the value less than 1? It is 0. Okay, fine. So as we come to the last stage, we know that x power 0, any number to the power 0 is equal to 1. It is a pre-known formula, right? So a number with the power 0 is nothing but 1. Okay, so I am going to strike this 5 power 0. I am going to write 1. Okay, now we are going in reverse process. What is our ultimate aim? Our ultimate aim is to find 5 power 3. Okay, so before that I had to find 5 power 2. Before that I had to find what is the value of 5 power 1. Okay, so before that I had to find the value of 5 power 0. Now I find the value 5 power 0 equal to 1, such that 1 5s are how much? 1 5s are is 5. Okay, now you tell me what is the value of 5 power 1. Yes, 5 into 1, the answer is 5. Now 5 power 1 value is 5. So now I am strike the value of 5 power 1. Now it become 5. Got it? Okay. So 5 5s are how much? 25. Right. Now you tell me what is the value of 5 square? 5 power 2. The value is 5 5s are 25. So now I will strike the value of this one. The value is 25. Now you tell me what is the value of 5 power 3. Okay. What is the value? 5 into 25. The answer is 125. That value will be stored here. That value will be stored here. The answer is 125. Got it? Sir, why, sir, we are doing all these things? This is itself easy, no? So why the hell we are doing like this? Your question is right. This is an ordinary method, while this is an recursive method. This is an ordinary method, while this is an recursive method. Okay. So how, sir, you are saying this is a recursive method means 5 into, okay, in power of a number, then 5 into power of a number, then 5 into 5 power something. Okay. You see, 5 into 5 power something, 5 into 5 power something, 5 into 5 power something. All the time we are using the same formula, right? So this kind of formula is nothing but recursive method. Got it? Okay. Now, the same thing we are going to do in the program. Okay. First, always come to main function. First, always come to main function. What is going to be done? Enter only the positive numbers below. That means, if you want to give any input means, you have to give only in positive number. Okay. Okay, fine. Right. Then, yes, enter base number is printed. Now you have to give what? You have to give one keyboard input. I will give 5. Okay. Now what is the num value? It is also 5. Okay. Now listen. Raise to the power of, you have to give one input. What I will give? I will give 3. Such that what is the p value is nothing but 3. Okay, fine. Now you come here. So, power function. What is this? Power function. This is nothing but a function call statement. Okay. So, this power function will call this power definition. Got it? Okay. Before that, we should know the value of num and p. What is the value of num? The num value is 5. Okay, fine. What is the value of p? So the p value is 3. Okay. So this is a call statement. It will call the power definition. Where is power definition? It is here. Okay, fine. So the num and p value is transferred to a and b. Got it? Okay, so now a value is 5 and b value is 3. A value is 5 and b value is 3. Okay. Now you check. I will ask you a question. What's the value of b? Yes, the answer is 3. Okay, I will write 3. 3 equal to 0. The condition is of course false. Then it will come here, return 5 into power. A means what? A means the answer is 5. So B minus 1 means 3 minus 1, that is 2. Okay. Now listen here. It is a power definition. Okay. The power definition will start here and end here. Okay. Within the power definition, one more call statement is there. Within the power definition, one more power calling statement is there. Such that from here, this is also a calling statement, just like this. Okay, so the control will be transferred from here to here. Okay, so now what will happen? So this program is trying to find the answer of 5 power 2. What is the value of 5 power 2? Now listen, the value of B will be changed to 2. Okay, so A value is 5 and B value is 2. Okay, then what is the value of B? The B value is 2 now. 2. The B value is 2. 2 is equal to 0. The condition is false or true. The condition is false now. So it will come to else statement. Okay. Once again 5 into power of A value is of course the same 5, and B value, B minus 1 means B value is 2 now. So 2 minus 1 means it is 1 now. Got it? So once again it is a call statement. It will go here. So now what is the B value? B value is 1 now. That means now it is going to find the power of, now it is going to find the value of 5 power 1. So B value is 1 now. What is the value of B? It is 1. B equal to 0 means 1 equal to 0. The condition is true or false. Of course the condition is false. Okay. It will come here. Okay. So once again 5 into 5 comma, so 5 into 5 comma, what is the value of B minus 1 means what is the value? So 1 minus 1, the answer is 0. So now we are going to find the value of 5 power 0. Now we are going to try the value of 5 power 0. So once again the control will be transferred to power definition. Now what is the value of A? Of course the same 5. Now what is the value of B? It is 0. We can strike out this 1 and we can put 0. So now we are going to try the value of 5 power 0. Okay. Listen, what is the value of B? It is 0. Okay. B equal to 0. That means 0 equal to 0. The condition is of course true. If the condition is true means it will return 1. It will return 1. Okay. So such that the 5 power 0, the value is what? 1. Okay. Then once again it will re-execute. Okay. So how it will execute? I will tell you here. Once we find out the value of 5 power 0, okay. So this value 5 power 0 value will become 1. Then 1 into 5 it will be calculated. 1 5s are 5. So that 5 will be stored in 5 power 1. So instead of 5 power 1 we can write 5. So 5 5s are 25. That 25 will be saved in 5 power 2. So instead of 5 power 2 we can write 25. So 5 into 25, the answer is 125. So instead of writing 5 power 3 we can write 125, such that 5 over 3, the answer is 125. We had find it out. Got it? Okay. So the same concept is applied here. Okay, fine. So at last, you come here, at last, listen. What is the value of 5 over 3? The answer is 125. Got it? Okay, fine. So, okay. So because of this statement, so power 5 comma 3, the answer will become 125. So this 125 will be saved in result 125. So num means what? Num means 5. 5 raised to the power of 3. 5 raised to the power of 3 is 125. That's all. Okay. So this is the calculation of power concept by using recursion. Okay. So recursion means very simple. Here we are using 5 into 5 power something, again 5 into 5 power something, again 5 into 5 power something. We are using the same formula every time. Okay, in the function. Okay, so this kind of activity, and also it's a power function. Inside the definition of power function, one more power function. So again it will call. It's a power function. Inside the power function there is one more power function. So again it will call. Like that repeatedly it will execute. Okay. So this kind of activity is called as recursion activity, recursion function. Okay. So at last we had find it out. 5 over 3, the answer is 125. Hope you understand. Thank you very much.